We finished our series on a rule of life, which is basically just an exploration of spiritual disciplines that are good for us to structure our lives around to help us be better followers and more productive Christians in our day-to-day lives. Well, we are now entering into the season of Lent. If you're not familiar with Lent, that's okay. I was not familiar with Lent until just a short while ago in college is when I first found out about it. Did not grow up doing this, did not grow up even familiar with it. But it's such a great holiday. It's such a great season that I've kind of kept it as a normal rhythm in my life. The season of Lent starts on Ash Wednesday, which this year is going to be February the 22nd, and runs all the way through Easter. It's 40 days. And during that time, the church calendar wants us to focus on building our spiritual disciplines back because the church calendar tries to take into account normal Christians wax and wane in their disciplines and in their spiritual formation. So this is an intentional time for us to focus on being spiritually disciplined and to work on our spiritual formation. So it's a great time. It's a great time to start preparing our hearts and lives because it's intended to build us up to Easter. It's begin to prepare our hearts and our souls and all of that to be ready for the gift that Easter is. So Lent comes, like I said, right before Easter. Starts with Ash Wednesday, and typically you're going to fast. That's what everybody knows about Lent. You fast from something for 40 days, and that is absolutely part of it and is an essential part of that season. I would say though that there's three pieces. The first is fasting, which you can fast from anything. You can fast from coffee, chocolate, social media, whatever you think you need to fast from to grow closer to God is fine. Fast that thing for 40 days. The next thing is to study. I think this is really, really important. Pick a gospel. Focus on that gospel. Read it over and over and over during this season. Study it. Journal about it. Just focus on it. Now, if you're wondering which gospel you should pick, any of them are okay. Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. But during the lectionary this year, which is a lot, if you follow a liturgical calendar, chances are you're following the lectionary, which gives us scriptures to preach from each Sunday. The lectionary is focused on the Gospel of Matthew this year. So the Gospel of Matthew is a great choice for this lectionary year. But also this time in the lectionary, this Lent season, is actually focused on the book of John. So reading John would be a great thing to do during this time. That extra study will help season the sermons because you come anticipating what God has done and you have a little more context to hear that sermon in. So the Gospel of John is a great one to read right now. And then the last one is worship. I have been talking about this for the last couple of weeks, but worship is essential as a Christian. So I think there is personal worship, which is what you do in your car on the way to work or maybe at night. I don't know when you choose to do that, but personal worship, but also corporate worship. Focus and commit to going to corporate worship, which is just being in church, being with a body of believers and praising God together. Corporate worship is essential. During the season of Lent, commit to corporate worship. Speaking of that, Ash Wednesday, February 22nd at 6:30 here at CWC, we're going to have an Ash Wednesday service. We're going to impart the ashes. We're going to start this season together, and I would love for you to come and be a part of that. If you would like to join us in a daily devotional, I'll be releasing a podcast daily, a super short devotional podcast on the book of John, going all the way through the Lent season, so from February 22nd all the way through April the 9th. And you can join in with us on that. You can listen to it and make that a part of your study. It would be a great opportunity for you to prepare the soil in your life for God to move. So that's the thing that we need to remember in this. Spiritual disciplines do not necessarily make us grow. God makes us grow. But when we prepare the soil of our lives by doing these kind of things, these spiritual disciplines, when we prepare the soil of our lives, God can use that stuff to help us grow. So, study, fast, and worship. I strongly encourage you to participate in that this Lenten season. And hey, I'm praying for you. Grace and peace. See you on Sunday.